just went back in time because this is about time, baby. What a fucking intro. Here's the thing. I love this fucking movie. I love this movie so much because to me, whenever I first watched this movie, I thought this was going to be a rom-com.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be just something where like...
You don't think it's a rom-com?
Huh? What'd you say?
You don't think it's a rom-com?
No.
Why are you so aggressive? Huh? What'd you say?
What'd you say about me? No, I don't think it's a rom-com at all. Because here's the thing. Like, I think it's a com. Definitely some com in there. But I don't know if there's enough rom. Because a rom is there, definitely there. But like the thing is, this movie is about this guy who finds out when he's 18 that he can travel in time. He can travel back in time.
I totally know why. You know how last movie, I was like, I get this one. You're like, no idea. The guy's awkward.
Yeah? Oh, absolutely. I can
I
totally
fucking
relate to
get
this
it
guy.
out.
I can totally relate to this guy because like this guy
Yeah,
says jokes at the most inappropriate times.
Yeah. No
he always
fucking
has
idea.
something fucking clever to say.
Yeah.
Totally relate to this guy. But here's the thing. So he finds out when he's 18 that he can go back in time, right?
21.
Awesome. 21? Oh, cool. And the first thing that he wants to use it on is to get a girlfriend. And whenever I first saw this movie, I thought this is what the whole movie's gonna be about. No. He gets a girlfriend in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And the whole movie is not about the girlfriend. It's about, I mean, their relationship is on there, but like it's not about like them having trials and tribulations and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
no.
that's what you're saying.
Like you think this movie's about her, right? Turns out it's not. Then you think, oh, maybe it's about the sister being like
Fucked up, yeah.
fucked up. It's not. It's not about the father. It's about time and how you spend it. And I love it. And I love the fucking message of the movie. I love everything about the movie.
Yeah.
Mwah, mwah,
You know
mwah. So good.
You know how I texted you yesterday and I was like, I think I love it too?
Yeah.
I lied.
You lied? You don't like it?
I lied because like I thought it would be a good thing to say to you because it was so romantic to say it in the moment.
Yeah.
But I was like, yeah, I don't really love the movie. I thought it was good. I thought it was good, but like it just
My heart broke right now.
It just heart's broken. I'm
Why
sorry.
would you lie to me?
I don't know because the thing is,
I fucking hate it.
the thing is, I had already
hate it
planned.
coming by your name.
I had already planned it to say it. Like that's what I was like. I think
That
I'm gonna,
hurts.
Like I think I'm
That
gonna
hurts
love
even
it.
more. It's premeditated. Okay,
I
keep going.
know,
about
like it
why.
wasn't premeditated that I wasn't gonna like
Let's
it.
see why you're wrong.
I
Go
thought I
ahead.
was going to like it more because I was in the
Okay.
middle of the movie when you finished,
Okay.
and then the movie ended, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm not quite there. But I had already planned to say that, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I shouldn't have
So
said
you didn't completely lie. You just didn't know you were lying.
I didn't know I was lying.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
sorry, I didn't know I was lying, but in the middle of the movie, I didn't know I was lying because I thought I was gonna do that. So I decided to say it. And anyways, that didn't make any sense. But back to the whole thing. I don't know. I think I definitely saw it more as a rom-com. It was a good movie. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it had romantic moments in there, but it was definitely like this movie reminds me like those movies, like Listen to Your Heart. And
Oh, not listen to your heart. Don't say that.
no. Okay, Listen to Your Heart. I haven't watched it since you watched it. Like what I remember from Listen to Your Heart, and you told me not to watch it again because it's gonna ruin my fucking impression of it.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But what I'm saying is like it's in that boat, and not bad movies. I'm just talking about specifically like movies that like make you like are sappy
You're
kind
saying
of.
all the wrong things. Not necessarily bad movie.
No, it's not a bad movie. Like it's definitely not a bad movie. Like I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I like the movie. I thought it was a good movie. It doesn't have that like that thing for me. I don't know what it is, but it's definitely more shot like a rom-com. Like this is to make
It is shot like a rom-com.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like Texas Waltz.
Yeah.
Like it has that rom-com feeling. Like it does. Like Call Me by Your Name doesn't have that for me. Like that's just like a moment of life for me. It's weird to say, even though it's a love story. But this movie does feel like those movies that I used to watch in high school. Like movies that I really like those movies, and then I transitioned, just like kind of you transitioned
into more artistic films.
into more artistic films that way. Yeah. And I'm not saying it's a bad movie, but like Texas Waltz.
It has that touch. Yeah.
It has that touch of like
definitely get you,
exactly.
yeah.
And so like not that I was disappointed in that, no, but like I think because like my character has changed and the way I like see films now changed. I was just like,
you're more sophisticated.
Boy, shit,
Oh, give him his cup of tea.
Oui, bitch.
He's super sophisticated now. Okay.
No, but like, none of that. But like,
I cut the bullshit.
No, but like what I'm saying is just like, when did you watch this film?
When I was
The first
I
time.
was still in high school.
Okay, well, see, there you go. Like I think like I don't have any nostalgia for this film at all
Yeah,
because
no
I didn't.
shit, it's your first time watching it.
That's what I'm saying. So like I still feel something for Listen to Your Heart. And apparently it's a bad movie, so I don't want to rewatch it because I don't want it to
Very
be a
bad
bad movie
movie.
for me. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And so like I'm not connected in a way where like you're connected because you watched it when you were in high school when you may have related to that specific moment more.
Yeah.
And then that guy for me, I just didn't really relate to that guy.
Oh, I love the guy.
No, I mean he was
And
a
I've
good.
loved him in everything ever since. I loved him in.
Yeah, Ex Machina. He's an Ex Machina.
He was in that. Did you ever watch Black Mirror?
I didn't watch Black Mirror, but I think you showed me that episode. I think.
That episode of him being like
think.
he dies and then he comes back to life. No, he doesn't come back to life. He's like, there's like a version of him made after he is dead.
I don't know actually. I'm sorry.
It's fucking.
I think
it's
I've
a
seen
good
him
episode.
though. I remember you told me because
It's
you
so
always
sad.
showed me like you showed me that episode I think, and you showed me the John Hamm one.
The John Hamm. Yeah.
It's like
that episode
weird
of Black
shit.
Black Mirror when he's in it, it's fucking good. It's he dies and then like
I think I've seen it.
he
Though.
dies in a car accident, and then like his wife like just starts talking to like a version of him that is like AI based on like everything that he posts, and then there's like, oh, we can go another level, and like
Yeah.
if you put in the right ingredients and put a little salt and pepper, then you know we can
Salt and spice
create
and
like a
everything
robot
nice.
version of him,
Yeah.
but it's just like not really him.
Yeah, I never watched Black Mirror.
I thought
Sorry.
Black Mirror
Yeah, I
was
only
good.
watched the episodes that you told me to watch,
Okay.
or that I watched with you.
Yeah,
Rather.
I really like Black Mirror.
I know you did,
They're
but
not gonna make anymore
good.
because the guy, the fuck.
You're breaking my heart here, bro.
I know, man. What the fuck is going on?
No,
here?
no, they should. I'm not gonna watch them.
You
but
said
they should.
good. You said good. No, you didn't say. Oh, you didn't say nothing. You said good.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm sorry. I should have said that. I should have said that.
But yeah, that episode was really good. And
Was he in Harry Potter too?
He was in Star Wars. He was in Harry
He
Potter.
was in Star Wars, yeah.
I don't know what else he's been
Ex
on.
Machina. I don't know if you heard me say that.
Ex Machina, yeah.
He's in everything. This dude.
Yeah.
He really is in everything.
I really like him. And
It's
I really,
really, he's a really good actor. He's very
yeah.
good.
And like in this, like they have like moments of comedy, moments of awkwardness, moments of everything. I think it's really fucking well. Like everybody plays their part really well. I think. I think
Yeah.
like the sister is a little bit overacted. Like it's
Yeah.
like there's
You know
nobody
what?
really like that. If they are, they're like more annoying than the sister seemed. You know.
What I didn't appreciate about not that I didn't appreciate it, but like what I don't know if it was an advantage to the movie or if it was like a fault of the movie was that it explained so late if he could go back to his period of time. Cause I remember watching this movie and like an hour and a half in, I was like, does he have to relive everything? Or does he go back to that moment? And I remember until like he went back to until he did the sister scene where he takes her back in time and then they go back like to their
The
time period.
present.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I was still wondering, like, I was like, how does that work? Like, does he
Yeah.
like go back into that time and then relive? Because in my head, I'm just like, does he get old? He's gonna start getting older, and like at some point, he's gonna be 45 when his girl's still 25, I guess. I don't know. And I don't know. It was like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it was a bad thing,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it was a good thing. Like, I still can't decipher to if it was good that I had that mystery or like that thing in the back of my head thinking like, how does that work? Or if it just took me away from the movie.
Yeah, to me, like that, them not explaining the rules of time travel
Yeah.
didn't really bother me that much because I didn't think it was about that.
Yeah, and I mean, it didn't bother me as much. I was just thinking like how it worked because I think my brain was just trying to figure out if he was gonna get older. You know what I mean? Or it's like
Yeah.
it's just like, does he relive his time period again? Like, 'cause that's like that's not a waste of time, obviously,
But it's a lot of living to
but
do.
it's a lot of living.
Yeah.
You know? It's
yeah.
just like,
Yeah, but like they didn't like make it into like
Yeah.
a big point of like these are the rules.
Yeah, you know when that one moment that I realized that I was like, okay, I need to find out what's going on. When he goes to what's her name? Beautiful girl, Australian.
Margot Robbie.
Margot Robbie. When he goes into Margot Robbie's room and she's like, "It's the end of the fucking summer. You should have told me day one or in the middle or something." So then
Yeah.
he goes into the closet and then he does it. He's like, "You should have waited. You just wait till the end." And he's like, "Wait till the end."
Yeah.
And then they cut to something else, like to the end of summer or whatever. So you never know if he goes back and like, I thought he relived it. Like I just didn't know. That's the moment I started realizing. I'm just like, I don't know if he's reliving the entire thing. He had to wait a whole month again to like find out her answer, or like did he? But then I later realized with the sister, like an hour and a half into the movie, that like he could pop back into the closet and then go back to his time period, and things will just be different. So he doesn't have a longer life. He just gets to
relive moments.
Yeah, but it's just, which is weird again because like again like he still remembers things, you know, like the Margot Robbie thing. Like in my head, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna cheat on fucking Rachel McAdams. Rachel McAdams, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's gonna cheat on her, and he's gonna go back in time to not cheat on her, but he's still gonna have the memory that he cheated on her because then he had her, and then he didn't do that, and I was just like, okay. Which, by the way, that moment was funny when he got back. It's like, I want you to marry me. It's like, are you doing that thing? And then he's like, no. It's like, I just wanted to. It's like, I'm so happy. It's like, I'm so happy you didn't do that thing that everybody does, and blah blah blah. And then he like goes out. He's like, guys.
Yeah, I know. Like, get out. Yeah. That part was funny. And then like, I like that there's definitely more comedy in this than like your typical like romance. It's a like you want it to be a rom-com, right? And so
it's a rom-com.
I don't think it's a rom-com though. Kim, do you think it's a rom-com? There's romance for like the first 30 minutes, and then after that, it's over.
I think it's romantic the entire way. It's romantic the entire way.
But not towards a partner. It's romantic towards everything else.
It just has sprinkles of moments like that, just like it has sprinkles of comedy.
But like, if you did
I mean, it doesn't. I know what you're saying. It doesn't lean towards that. Like, it doesn't like completely like devour romance, but I still think it has enough romance in it for me to consider it a rom-com.
What is it considered? What category is it?
It's considered a romance fantasy.
Romance fantasy.
Not even comedy. What?
It's so weird.
That is
because
weird.
there's I don't know. Like to me, like romance movies, the whole movie has to be about the couple.
No, not for me.
You know, like
it's not about the couple, but there's
the whole thing is about them.
But to me, the whole movie had like, even though it wasn't just about the couple, it had enough moments in there because like even like towards the end, the dress scene. You know what I mean? Like that's such a romantic thing. You know, even though it wasn't like lovey-dovey romance, it was like this dress look good on me, and then she tried like a bajillion dresses on. And then she ended up putting on the same dress, the same navy dress. And then he was like, it's beautiful. It's fine.
Yeah.
You know? And then she got pissed at him because like...
But see, then that all leads to like his father's death.
Yeah. But that's all those things just because it leads to one thing. Well, it doesn't necessarily lead to it. It's a moment that happened before his father's death. It doesn't like... That doesn't dictate that his father's going to die. You know? But like, he's living the moment.
I don't think it's a romance. But like, I don't know what else it would be.
I think it's
really
romance.
don't
but
know.
I respect your opinion, bro.
Like I don't know what else, like what other category
I think
it could be.
I think rom-com gets such a bad rap that I think you're afraid to call it that.
No, because I love rom-coms. I can like watch The Proposal or some other shit and like be fine. I like that movie. And I like rom-coms.
Yeah.
But like I just don't think this has the recipe for a rom-com. You know what I mean? Like, there's a recipe that you have for a rom-com, and this doesn't have that.
But it's like, I feel like, again, like, when there's that recipe for a rom-com, I feel like it's like, you know it's going to be a bad movie. In the sense of, like, it's going to feed you everything that it wants to feed you. And you may enjoy it. Just because you enjoy it doesn't mean it's not good, though. You know what I mean? Or bad. I don't know how to explain that. But not that every rom-com is bad. But I just think that it has that, not the same formula. It's definitely a different, like, they took it up a level. But I do think it's not necessarily comedy. Look, bro, it is what it is.
To disagree.
It is what it is, yeah.
I don't think it's a rom-com, but I think that it starts off as a rom-com. And then kind of like tricks you into thinking it's a rom-com. And then, like, it becomes some family drama. And then it becomes into, like, all this other shit. And the reason I really like that is because that's just how life is, right?
Yeah.
And like that's kind of like the whole message of the movie, that is like, you can't really relive anything.
Yeah.
So just fucking live it. You know what I mean? Just fucking just deal with it, and then shit will happen, but good things will happen too, and like it'll be okay. And so
I also love that part of the time travel. Where, like, he asked in the very beginning, he's all like, but isn't this supposed to have the butterfly effect? Or, like, if I do this, like, some catastrophe is gonna happen, and then the dad's all like, "No, not from my experience, no."
Yeah,
like, you know,
like,
it's like
we,
it's just
we
like
haven't fucked it up.
it's just like we're just
since.
so unimportant that
Yeah.
it's probably not gonna happen.
Which, by the way, I love the dad too. I feel
I
like
love the dad.
every character. I think like there's so many things about
Yeah.
each character that I love. Like even like Uncle Desmond. Part of me thinks that Uncle Desmond, that he's like oh, like he's fine. He is fine. Like he's not like mentally like
You think he's fine?
challenged. Thing is, I think he just traveled back in time so many times. That he's
You
just
know what?
so like he's just like so chill about everything.
Yeah, you know what? You're not wrong, bro. You're not
Like
wrong.
maybe he relived every single day like 800 times.
Yeah.
And he just like gets it all mixed up. But yeah, no, like I like everything. Like when fucking Desmond, when the dad died, and like Uncle Desmond was like, that day of your wedding, he told me he loved me. That was my favorite day ever.
Yeah.
And like I was just like, that's so fucking sad. That's
Yeah.
so sad. Or even the mom when the dad's funeral happened, and it was like, how are you? I'm like, I cannot. Like what did she say? I'm
like,
so uninterested in a life
and
without
living
your father.
yeah, that was
And
such a
it's just
beautiful
like,
line.
Fuck.
Yeah, because
That's
it was so like
sass.
raw. It was so. I love the way she said it because it was so ugly.
Yeah.
but that's what you wanted to see. You know, and it was a beautiful.
And like her character was really well portrayed. Like she didn't have that many lines or anything like that, right? But like her character was like the same. Like you see her in a cutscene. It was towards the end where she was like picking flowers, and you just had it. He's just like, I guess I'm just fucking holding a basket
I guess
now.
I'm just holding it now.
And so like that was fun. Or like whenever like everybody's getting ready for the funeral, and she's just like, well, fucking going. She's like, let's get this shit over with.
Yeah.
And then she just like stops, takes a deep breath, and then goes into the room. And so like everybody's character was like that.
Yeah.
Even Rachel McAdams, like she had like that quirky thing.
I gotta say though, man, she's gotta be the best actress for rom-coms, right?
Oh yeah.
Like she's all time.
If this was a
greatest,
rom-com,
right?
mwah.
She's the best. There's nobody else. Like
Yeah.
no Kate Winslet,
No,
nobody.
no,
Like
no.
she's the girl.
Yeah.
She's that girl.
She has that like that smile, those eyes.
Cause she
everything
could
about
play
her.
like, she's sexy enough to be a sexy girl. But she's quirky enough to play the quirky. Because in this
Yeah.
she was like the quirky girl, and then she
Yeah.
turned into like the
She had a
mom.
frop. She had, like, everything, yeah.
It's too short, isn't it? It's too short.
Yeah, yeah.
It was beautiful. She's so. That's what I was thinking when I watched them. It was like she's just the perfect person to cast.
When
in
he
these movies.
proposed and he was like, wait a minute. Guy has a question. Are you on your knees? He's on his knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you gonna propose to me? Like even like moments like that, or like I don't know. There's so many like little moments of like just like little funny things. Kind of like Cha-Cha Real Smooth, where like you know how like Cha-Cha had those sprinkled throughout.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. Like whenever like they were discussing about kids, and then she was like, "Oh, there's not enough. We don't have enough, do we?" And she was like, "We have two." I'm like, "Yeah, well, that's not enough." And like, that's more than the Chinese that are allowed. Like that, just like sprinkled in there. You know what I mean? Like it's I don't know. Those type of movies to me, like they always get me.
Yeah, I see. But that makes sense though. You love your comedy. I don't watch comedies, and you know that from a long time. Like you used to watch comedies. Like, have you seen this movie? And I'm just like, no. Have you seen this?
Well, I don't think I like comedies that much.
No, but like you like it a lot more than I do.
Oh yeah.
And I just know, but
you don't like anything
like
but
when
sad
you were
stuff.
younger, exactly. When you were younger, you used to watch a lot of comedies. I remember, and I used to watch more rom-coms. And then I
can't
transitioned.
tell you one comedy movie right now.
Maybe not, but I remember you used to watch a whole bunch of comedies, and then we used to put like stand-up shows all the time because all you wanted to watch was comedy and shit.
I mean, you like stand-up shows,
No, I never watched stand-up shows. I only watched them because you put them on.
but you like Bill Burr. And
That's the only one I like. I only watch Bill Burr.
I don't watch any of them anymore.
No, I don't. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like when you were younger, that's what I was saying. When
Yeah.
you were younger, when like we were in high school or like just graduated high school, you used to watch more of those type of movies.
Yeah.
And like I never did because I mean to this day I don't really like comedies. But like I remember when I was younger, I used to watch movies more like Listen to Your Heart or like Take This Waltz. I mean, there's so many movies that we watched that I was like, well, it's so good. And then because they were like small, independent, like low budget films that like we just loved because the guy and a girl was in it and they loved each other to like pieces. And like I feel like obviously like our taste has changed. You've obviously transitioned more to horror, and I've transitioned more to like this,
drama. This is drama.
to drama. Like you know what I mean. So it's just like I lost my train of thought where I was going with this, but
Well, I mean, what I was saying before is that that's why I like Chacha Real Smooth so much. Because it has those moments of like happy and sad and whatever, and then just like a little sprinkle of comedy and witty and like all this other stuff.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
And
it does
so
have
like
that.
it has that charm to it that I really like. You know?
No, I think it had beautiful moments. Just going back to the Rachel McAdams, like when she met the mom, and then the dad and the son go like somewhere, and then they have that little discussion, and then she's all like, "It's like you have attitude or something like that." It's like make sure you have attitude, otherwise they'll think they could do whatever you want with them or with us. Or I just thought like moments like that were like, and that's where me the rom-com comes in, because it doesn't necessarily have to be like a boy and a girl. It's like those suegros or the father and mother-in-law giving advice to like the young couple. But I thought they were fun. I thought they were cool, and like I thought they were exciting to watch, especially again like stuff like that. And just going back to like when she opens the door and she's like, "I'm so uninterested in a life without your father," and I'm just like, just accepting that, and going back to that moment and you were talking about, I didn't feel it was as witty or funny. When you were talking about the Chinese moment, because that's the moment where like he realized that he couldn't go back, because if he does, that's the moment like if he has another child, he can't go back.
Yeah.
Because we didn't explain this. If you go back in this movie past a child,
A male child.
oh, it's only a male child?
Yeah, because only male can time travel. So you can go before the birth of a male child.
But his daughter was a daughter.
That's why you could go back. He could go back.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because the way I understood it was like you can't go back before the birth of a child, because otherwise you risk changing the child's anything. Like
no, I don't think it's because you risk it. It's because then you disallow them from being able to go back in time. Like I don't think it's like.
Oh.
I think that's what it is.
I may have to go back, because I literally
because only the men in the family can.
It's only the men, but remember it was a girl and he went back in time. You remember? He went back in time, and then when he came back, it was a boy.
Oh yeah,
so he
right.
went back in time to talk to his dad or what the fuck was going on, and then he's like, yeah, if you go back in time, it like any little moment that you could have, like that specific sperm cell is not gonna happen the way it was going to happen, like and enter and become that specific person. It's like, so you can't, when you have a child, you can't go back before the birth of the child, otherwise you risk changing the child. So then he goes back and then gets his little girl back, basically. So I don't think it had to be a boy. It just had to be a child, because you just risk changing the person that you had. At least that's the way I understood it. I may need to go back.
Yeah.
But it was a girl, and then it was a guy, and then or a boy, and then it became a boy.
Just a man. What's up, bro?
He had a little girl, then he had a man.
Yeah, I guess you're right, because then at the end they go back to when he was a little boy, and that was before any of the births at all. So yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, there were some moments to me that were like very like rom-com-y, and they were like very like too on the nose. Like there was this one time where like at that same time when he was deciding whether or not to have a child, they were like, well, we may try and it may never happen. And I'm like, yeah. And then cut to her being fucking pregnant and like about to give birth, and it's just like that's that's rom-com. Like right, those are the elements of like.
But even like little scenes like when he met her, and like this is a complete stranger. Well, he met her and then went back and then didn't meet her.
Yeah.
And then so he spent like hours at the Cape Moss or fucking museum or not museum, fucking show.
Yeah.
Trying to just fucking find her until she popped in. And then he's like, sorry, it's me. Because like remember when he told the sisters like,
nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's nice to see you again.
Never met.
And it's like she told the friends like, this is a stranger basically. And he just whatever. I thought those moments like that were like kind of rom-com-y.
Yeah.
Because like they had no seriousness in
Yeah,
them.
and that's why I thought like that
at
to
the
me
beginning,
was
I get
rom-com,
you.
right?
Yeah.
And then like that's but once he gets her, we're 30 minutes into the movie.
I gotta say though, man, what a dumbass. Because I can't believe he risked that shit.
Yeah.
to go back for a guy with a play, I would have said, man,
That
I'm so
doesn't
sorry.
even like you.
That doesn't even like you. I'm like, bro, you risked your whole life
Yeah.
for this man that just, he didn't even want you there.
I
Let's
know.
just be honest. I was like, I can't believe he did that.
You
shit.
fixed his whole thing. And he was
actually-
like, you missed the best part.
I actually do have, no, honestly, but I actually do have a question. Do you remember when they had sex for the first time? Mm-hmm. And then he went back and then corrected it so that he wouldn't trip over the shoes and shit like that? And then he's like, I promise it'll be better next time. You remember that? It's like, I promise it'll be better next time. And she looked at him, she's like, I thought that was great. So then he goes back in time again and then redoes it again. And he was more confident and he was tired. And then he said something and she's all like, fuck. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he went back in time to have like a more like sex-driven, hardcore sex with her. Why do you think he does that?
I think he just wanted the first one to be perfect.
But you think the last one was the perfect one? Because I feel like the first one could have been, or at least the middle one. But he went super hardcore.
I'm guessing that there must have been something that...
Okay, and maybe this is a question for Kim. I just feel like he was reading the signs incorrectly. Like, I feel like that was his character choice. Like, his character went back because he thought that's what she wanted.
Yeah, that's what I gathered from it.
That's what you got from it. Because in my head, I'm just like, bro, like, that's not what you do. Like, because, like, it felt like to me like he was reading the signs like this is what she wanted, but maybe she was.
But then again, because then she said something like, "Oh, 2 times is all my perfect guy can do." And
that was the last time, but he didn't go back in that time.
I know, but like, obviously she wants like more. You know? So like, maybe there was something during the sex that was like,
maybe I just
she
felt like
likes it, very forward.
I just felt like he was so insecure about who he was, and it's like, she would say something and he immediately wanted to correct it because he thought that's what she wanted. So he just kept doing that. And in my head, I was like, I don't think that's what she wanted because he kept reading too much into what she was saying. And I don't think it was that meaningful to be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just felt like that was it for me. I was just like, gosh, like this is such a, like he's trying to do everything to please her, but she was pleased the first time and or the second time if you want.
Which I mean, I think
because I just feel like it made it unromantic the last time, and I know it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because like the last time, it's like I don't know, like I feel like by you going that hardcore, and like, I mean, I know there's relationships like that, and this is a movie again.
Yeah.
But like I just felt like in the first time, it's like it could scare a woman
I think
away.
that's maybe just him, like, wanting to. I think that's just his development, Like, I think that's just him.
Because he definitely got more
to
comfortable.
fix everything.
Yeah.
And then he overcomes that. Like, at the beginning, like, one of the first things that he does is, like, puts on lotion on Margot Robbie's back very perfectly, Yeah. And so, like, he tries to make sure that, like, everything is as confident as possible with him because he's awkward, right?
Yeah.
And so, like, I feel like that plays into his character at the beginning, but then towards the end, it's more about, like, he's traveling in time to do the more meaningful things instead of just making himself more confident,
I love though that there's no fear of being embarrassed because all you have to do is go back in time and then just say it. It's like, you know what I mean? That's so cool.
Yeah.
Like he could go up to any girl he wants and try it a few times. And and at the end of the day, if it's like for real 100% she's not gonna like him, then he could go back in time and then make it like it never happened.
Yeah. Like I love the part with when he was in the theater and then he sees Margot Robbie again. And then like he tries it like 3 or 4 times and then he just gives up.
Yeah, he avoids it.
Because he's just like, oh, this is my girlfriend. Oh, like, oh my God.
Makes so much sense.
So much sense. Thank you. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, like that's your girlfriend. I'm like, oh no, that's not my girl.
Like, she's like, oh, I'm not gay. It's like, no, I didn't think you were. And then he goes back. It's like, oh, of course I didn't. Like, who would be gay? Like, she's just your girlfriend. And then the girl's like, I'm gay. And she's like, oh, I'm going to be back now. And he tried like 3 or 4 times.
I love the part the very first time. It was like, oh no, of course, your girlfriend. I'm going to go get my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Who's a boy.
And then he comes up, I'm Roger. Rory. I'm Rory. It's like,
see, you like comedy, see?
No, I mean, I laugh when it's moments like when when they're funny moments. I'm
Yeah.
not saying I'm not complete fucking like I just want to live in a fucking hole my entire life. No.
Yeah.
Like I like when moments are funny like that, but that's not like it's not something that I crave. Like it's not something
Oh,
that
I
when I
don't
finish
crave
those
it.
movies,
I
I want to
love
watch
being sur-
another movie like
I
that.
love
you
being
know?
surprised by it. I love
I
being
see what you're
surprised by it,
saying.
like in Cha-Cha Real Smooth, where the movie is not a comedy and it's not like
But
whatever.
I think I wouldn't even consider this like I don't know because I feel like the comedy in Cha Cha Real Smooth is more real life, more witty.
Yes, I
And
think
this
is
was more like staged. You
this
know what
is
I
more
mean?
scripted comedy.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Like I think this is more, and there's more comedy elements to this movie than there were in Cha-Cha Real Smooth.
Yeah.
But like there were still like sprinkled few and far between enough to where like you got caught off guard by some of the things that they would say.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Whenever they would say them, they would be like scripted. Like one of the first thing, whenever he was leaving the home for the first time, and his father just said like, "Don't call too often. Your mother doesn't like to be bothered."
Yeah.
You know, like that is just something that is just like
Yeah.
you didn't have to put that in the script, but that's funny, you know, because like moms are like the complete opposite of that. That they completely you
Yeah,
don't
he's
call
like
enough.
he's the tender, loving father,
Uh-huh.
and it's usually the opposite. And
Yeah.
then she's like the hardcore bitch. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I'm gonna like we gonna get you to school at the time we're gonna get you to school, and
Yeah.
we're gonna eat at the time you need to eat, and all this stuff. So
Yeah.
like she's definitely like
And so moments like that, like where they're like they're not necessary, but they're there.
Yeah.
Like I think those are the ones that like get me.
you know what I loved by the way in that movie
But
when they're getting married. And
Uh-huh.
first of all, I love that. Like that was a huge surprise that she got. I don't know if this is an England thing that they don't use white to marry
uh-huh.
to for their bride.
Uh-huh.
I had no idea that the poster was
She
like
was wearing your dress.
what?
She was wearing your
Yeah, she was. This is
that's what she was wearing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
I
bought
thought
this.
that's what you got it
I
for.
bought this from the movie.
Yeah.
Uh,
The prop department.
I actually know the costume designer,
Mm-hmm.
and she said, "Here you go," just like that. And but I don't know if it's a thing, but I thought it was cool that like it was just a complete. I didn't know. I thought they were just walking from like a dinner or something on the poster.
Mm-hmm.
It's their wedding. I had no
Yeah.
idea. I was like, that's cool. Like that. It's
Yeah.
like it's a wedding picture, but like you'd never know unless you watch the movie.
Yeah.
But no, the thing that I loved most was that's just the thing that I had like a little side thought. But the thing that I loved was when she walks into the church and then he does this like little weird like dance where he goes like this.
Oh, yeah.
And then the dad looked at him and like you could just tell that the dad was like, those are my moves. And then
Yeah.
the mom's looking at him like, oh
Yeah.
my God. But like I love that because I thought that was so. The character development that was done there was just amazing, and the dad's a phenomenal actor, best actor of the fucking movie. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, the dad,
Yeah.
so good.
Because honestly, if you think about it, like that's the one moment where like you as a husband, like in the entire event, where nobody's looking at you.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking at her, and
is
she's the
true.
only one looking at you.
That is
That's the
true.
only time that you can do anything fucking goofy.
Yeah.
Because nobody's paying attention to you at all.
Yeah.
And the only person that is looking at you is the one that you want to like make laugh or whatever. You know? So like
Yeah.
it's such a perfect moment to do that.
What a fucking movie, fool! What a great
Yeah.
move, right?
Yeah,
That's
what a
crazy.
fucking song too.
What was it?
Il mondo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, bro.
I used to listen to that fucking. Did you ever hear about Il Volo? Me and Becky used to listen
No.
to that shit all the time. We into her concert.
And so, like, man, there's just so many. I don't know. This movie just makes me happy the entire way. Like, there's really, like, there's sad moments,
Yeah.
of course, but even the sad moments just, like,
Make you happy.
make you happy, you know? And they, like, make you want to be better, I guess.
I love how like the sister like immediately like switched.
Yeah.
Like he's like, we're not leaving here until like you leave. What's his name? Jimmy.
Jimmy, yeah.
Jimmy. And then like you could tell kind like a day or two passed.
Uh-huh.
And then she's all like, I'm gonna have to leave Jimmy, aren't I?
Yeah.
And they're like, and then whatever happened at that time, and then at the end he was like, why don't you try whatever the redhead is?
Uh-huh.
And then like immediately she's like, oh.
Yeah.
And then they did it and they had a great relationship.
Yeah.
And it's just like how easy that was for her to fall in love with somebody
Yeah.
else, but because that was the guy giving her all the attention, or that the attention she noticed,
Yeah.
you know?
And at the end, whenever they're talking about like we just got used to life after death, right? And we got used to like
Yeah.
we got used to her as a mom, and then, like the sister, like albeit not a very safe one,
not a
or
very
a good
safe
one,
one, yeah.
but like I thought that was just like and you just see her fucking fumbling the baby and
Yeah.
shit.
I thought
And
she was
so-
gonna be alone forever. I thought she was Uncle Desmond.
No.
That's what I thought. I thought she was like the reincarnation of Uncle Desmond. I
Yeah.
was like, she's gonna be alone just like Uncle Desmond is.
Yeah.
Like that's it. But no, she had a. I mean, the guy's nuts too. You know,
Yeah.
the husband, I guess.
Yeah.
What's crazy, it's just like, there's not a lot of redheads in this world, and they had two in that fucking, or they had three. I think they had three, because the little girl that he had, and I'm just like, damn, like this is just a family of redheads, huh?
It's a fucking family affair, bro.
That's crazy.
And they're totally right. He does look like a Muppet. He looks like a fucking Muppet. That redhead guy. What's his name?
Well, and the one that was dating the sister?
Yeah.
I don't know, but he does look fucking
Because she
weird.
said, like, he looks like a Muppet. And then, what's it? I forgot his name. Or like, him with the Muppet hair or whatever. And we're like, yeah,
His
he
name
likes
was
you.
Jay.
Jay, yeah.
Jay?
Jay, Muppet hair Jay. Yeah. Yeah,
What
she
a
does
weird,
look
yeah,
like a
he's a
Muppet.
weird looking dude.
Yeah.
Weird looking dude. I mean, they're all kind of weird.
They're really weird
I,
looking guys.
do you know what makes me think about this movie as the most rom-com movie in the world?
In the world?
Nah, not in the world, but like, just, he's just quirky, and he's not very good looking, and Rachel McAdams is a beauty. And it's just like, there's nothing more, for me, it was like, there's nothing more rom-com than that.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's perfect for those roles, by the way. God, she's so good. Because she did the fucking, what's the other fucking rom-com movie that everybody loves? The Notebook.
Have you seen The Notebook?
I watched half of The Notebook one summer in Mexico, and then my mom called me, and I still have yet to watch the other half.
It's really fucking good.
I know it's good, and I know it's going to break my heart, but I just,
It's gonna
haven't
break
watched
your
it.
heart. Your achy break your heart. It's a
Yeah.
good fucking movie.
what was the movie where, like, there's another one of those, because, like, doesn't he, like, forget her or something like that? Or
She forgets him.
She forgets him. What was the movie, Dear John?
I always get those two. I think they come out around the same time or something.
Dear John.
But like those two are always like in my head at the same time.
Yeah, they're not for me. I watched Dear John, actually, like in the
I
theaters.
haven't seen Dear John since I watched it for
Actually,
the first
I don't
time.
I don't remember if I watched Dear John.
I haven't watched
think we
Dear
wanted
John
to,
since
but I
the
don't
first time
think
that
we
I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But like for some reason, I always get that one and the Notebook confused. Even though I've seen the Notebook like 3 or 4 times already.
I mean, obviously, The Notebook is like superior, but
Oh yeah.
because Channing Tatum, right, in Dear John,
Dear John is Channing Tatum, yeah. And then
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
spelled Deer.
Yeah. Which, by the way, Ryan Gosling, I think he's versatile. I think he's a good actor.
I love Ryan Gosling.
So fucking good.
What a fucking
The Nice Guys. Do you remember The Nice Guys?
Oh, do I remember that? I remember him.
Remember the glass bricks?
You know what I remember the most about it? When like I think he like I don't know if he broke his arm and the other guy was trying to locate it. He's like, "Ee!" He screamed. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yo, he is. I can't say he's underrated because he's always working,
Uh-huh.
but he kind of feels like an underrated
He needs
actor.
some more respect on his
Some
name.
more respect on his name.
Yeah.
He's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, he's funny.
Like, bro. And he was like gonna be in like NSYNC or some shit like that. Except Justin Timberlake beat him out because Justin
Yeah.
Timberlake has. Have you seen those videos when he was younger?
No.
When he's dancing and fucking shit. He's like, bro, he
Really?
was multi-talented fucking kid. Like this.
He's like a Bradley Cooper. Tell me something, girl.
Yeah, except Bradley Cooper is more on the dramatic side. And
Yeah.
Then so, but he's just so good.
Yeah.
Fucking Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
God, he's so good looking too. I like La La Land. Another heartbreaking movie, man.
You know, I was looking at my. Did I tell you about my wall of
Yeah.
movies that I have in my room? It is Hereditary, Midsummer, La La Land, About Time, Parasite, and Her.
About Time's on there? That's crazy.
I love this movie. I love the message in this movie. I love that it's, to me, like for the longest time I was like, oh, this is about, like when I first saw it, it was like, oh, this is about the relationship between him and his father. Like it's about letting go.
Between me.
But
I
yeah.
see how you relate.
But like, I mean, my father's still kicking. He's still good. He's chilling, you know?
He's good.
But like,
Still trying to do that fucking bathroom?
he's getting really close though. He's like, the sinks are done. He needs a mirror. The bathtub is done.
Let's not talk about the
He just needs a
time
mirror and a shower curtain, and he's solid.
Did Kim know about the time he bought that kitchen?
Oh my! I forgot about the kitchen.
You
There
know about
was a time where he wanted to open up a restaurant, and he bought the secondhand like stainless steel kitchen, set in my backyard for like
3 years.
more than that.
Yeah. I remember I used to go
ridiculous.
like, "Are you gonna do anything with that kid?" I have no fucking idea,
Yeah.
bro. No fucking idea.
Finally, he sold it to somebody that was just gonna use like melt the steel for
Oh yeah.
whatever.
Damn.
It's just like, bro, the fuck.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah. So that's my father.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna stick by him.
Yeah. Whatever he do, I'm gonna be right there with him.
but yeah, it's like this movie to me was like, oh, this is almost about letting go.
Yeah.
You know, like letting go of the
Yeah,
control
towards the
that
end,
you have.
definitely.
And I thought that was very beautiful. Like I thought it was like, you know, like, yeah, my father died, but I can go back and see him whatever time I want. And it's like I'm lucky to have that, whatever. But then at one time, you just have to move on. You just have to fucking move on.
Yeah, right before she had the baby, and he's like, "This is like, it took me a while to like understand that, like, oh no, it was during the time when they was like, I want another baby."
Yeah.
He's like, "Can I just get some time?" And then I think he had like a voiceover. It was like, "This could be the last time I see my father." And then immediately after, she cracked a joke and was like, "How about now?" And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Ah, damn,
Yeah.
of course she's gonna get what she wants." Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And yeah. So I mean, I definitely felt bad for him because it
Yeah.
was definitely one of those like, yeah, it's the last time he really gets to see his dad.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, there was a line in there whenever he like sees his dad for the last time because he's about to give birth, where like I thought it was so cheesy.
She's about to give birth.
Did I say he? Oh, well, she's about to give birth. I thought it was just so cheesy, where like they just looked at each other, him and his dad, and they go like, "My son," and he goes like, "My dad," and I'm like, "The fuck was that?"
Yeah.
The
I
fuck
know.
was that? I don't know. It's
But
so
the moment
weird.
right before that was so nice because like the dad obviously didn't realize that was another.
Yeah.
And then he's all like, "Oh." He like looked at it like he like realized in that moment. He's like, "Who are you?" Or like,
Instead of
or
realizing,
"Where are you
"Oh,
coming
shit,
from?"
I'm dead.
Yeah, he's all like, just like the realization that he knew he was
Yeah.
going to die, or that
And he knew why there was the last time they were gonna say. Because I remember when like they hugged or whatever, and he just said congratulations, and it was like congratulations on his baby.
They
and
kissed.
he's been dead, like this
Yeah.
entire time. So like I don't know, like I thought like that thing of just like letting go was like such a strong thing. And like I've never like this is the weird thing that I don't relate to that because I've never had to like let go like that, right? But like for some reason it still hits me, where it's just like damn, you just have to let go sometimes, you know?
Yeah, sometimes
Let
you
go
just
and let
gotta-
God. You know what I'm saying? Coming from an atheist, you gotta let go and let God. And so like I don't know,
Can't do anything else about it.
it was really fucking beautiful to me, and so that's why I really like this movie, man.
It was a good movie. I mean, hey, like I really liked the ending too. Like I thought it was nice. It was a tender moment where he's like, "Well, what can we do?" He's like, we can break the rules. Like I don't think it'll like really do anything."
Yeah.
And he goes back to that moment in the beach. It's just a little fucking child that's like what, like 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's just like running on the beach with his dad. And then that was it. And I'm just like,
And that was the last time you see the dad.
wasn't the ending of the movie though, or what did it end on?
Huh?
It was right.
That was around the ending. Then there was like a whole thing about like them moving on and like his mom and like Desmond are keeping each other company and shit and like
Yeah.
and it goes on to like what everybody went on to do. But yeah,
I also didn't understand the cancer thing though.
The what?
The cancer thing, because you know how it's like, have you tried going back? It's like, yeah, but it was before you were born, so I can't do it. So
Well, he just kept saying that all the smoking that he did when he was younger. That's what probably like started it.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So he had already stopped smoking, but it was just too late.
Yeah,
Like he
I
was
think
gonna
so.
develop regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, why didn't he just stop smoking at the point where his son maybe he could have? But it wasn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I wanted to be cleared.
I like the
and-
realization of like the dad, like whenever he's telling him this, and then like he like they look at each other and he was like, "This is the first time you're telling me this," and then that's like, "Oh."
Yeah, that's like. And he's like, didn't he ask like how many times? He's
Yeah.
Like, oh.
like,
It's
this
like-
has been like 3 times. This is like the 3rd time you
yeah,
telling
they've
me.
been through like that conversation so many times.
And so I like it that like there's like little hints, like we don't see him going back in time,
Yeah.
but like there's little hints in there of he's like, oh, he still fucking uses it, this motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
So
Because his dad went back in time to talk to his son.
yeah,
So he has no recollection of
Yeah.
those 3 times
Uh-huh.
until he goes back. But his dad won't have recollection of the 4th time. Does that make
yeah,
sense?
yeah,
So it's weird. It's an interesting concept. It was
Yeah.
well done. I feel.
yeah. And like I feel like the thing that I didn't like about it, it was that at least now, and maybe this is what you didn't like about it either, but like it felt a little too Hollywood, you know? Like it felt a little bit too if it was made for theaters, you know? And
I
like
see what
it
you're
had
saying.
those elements of like we
I
said,
think
like
that's what it was for me.
rom-com
Like
and
that's
all
what I'm
this
saying.
other
Like
stuff.
it was like it geared towards rom com for me in that way. Where like there's a movie called like One Day, I think too, with like Anne Hathaway,
Uh-huh.
and I think she like gets ran over and she dies or some shit like that. And
Yeah.
then I don't remember exactly what happens,
I
but
don't
it
know.
kind of has that feeling to it. Those kind of movies, you know, where like they're made for people to
To go to the
reflect and
theater
cry
and
and
watch.
like on
Yeah.
a rainy day. Yeah, I don't know, but that's what I feel about it.
Yeah, but to me, like if it was like a more like artistic movie and all that stuff, I think it would be even higher in my list. But like
No, I agree. Yeah.
even now, like it's pretty high up there.
Oh,
because
I mean, clearly it's on your fucking wall. You're gonna put Cha Cha Real Smooth on there anytime soon, or are you gonna swap
maybe
one
it's
out?
centerpiece on my wall because I really love Cha Cha Real Smooth.
It's really good. Yeah, it's on definitely.
Yeah.
I've told you before, it's my second favorite movie.
Yeah,
Like I don't think
but
there's any-
one of the things, well, no, not really. I was gonna say like one of the things that all the movies have in common is like they're very beautifully shot. And like that's one of the things, like it's like a frame of the movie and then like the color palette of like that they use in that shot. And so
like Joker is a really amazing color palette. Like the way the movie looks.
yeah, but it's not one of my like I think it's like a combination of the two, like one of my favorite movies plus
Yeah, I know what
like
you're saying.
beautifully shot kind of thing. And like Chichiro movie was cool, but like I mean it wasn't like anything to write home about when it comes to like cinematography.
No, yeah, definitely it was. I mean, but it makes sense though, cause like the story was really like going back to Call Me by Your Name. Like that story was a story that happened years ago.
Yeah.
And so, like, regardless if we were seeing it be lived in,
Uh-huh.
it was still in it was still in the 70s or 80s or something like that. So, like, it makes sense for it to have that like dreamy kind of over romanticized look to it. You know, kind of, you know what I mean? Very stylized. That Cha Cha Real Smooth, they wouldn't have done any justice for it because it was shot in today's
No.
time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes sense for it to just be
Yeah.
a normal looking movie.
Yeah, it played off as if it was something that was just this is a weird way to say it, but like just shot like on a video camera. You know what I mean? Like it was just like shot on a video camera now. You know what I mean? Like it felt that way. Like it had that emotion to it, like the cinematography to it. And the only reason I said like, oh well, no, it doesn't. Not all of them are like that because about time like it's one of those movies that is just like it's very perfect in the way of like Hollywood movies.
Yeah,
where
yeah,
like
yeah.
everything has to be right, everything has to be like accounted for and all that kind of stuff. There's like no rawness to the movie. Except for the mom. The mom saying
What
that
a
was
what a
pretty
genius
raw.
actors.
But,
And the dad's a genius as well. I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. Jesus.
Everybody was a genius. I really liked everybody's character. Like there was not a single character that I thought was like a bad person. Jimmy, sure.
Rory, you know those like the Rory, the Jimmy, like of those movies. Like to me, it's just like those feel like they're added in there for comedic relief.
yes.
You know what I mean?
That's
they're
true.
not necessary.
Yeah.
They're just like
Yeah.
there because like
the
they're
the
just
sidekick that's even more of a
Yeah.
loser. Yeah. And so like those elements, I feel like those are what cheapen the movie a little bit.
that's what I'm. But I mean, but that's the movie, you know.
Yeah.
Especially at the end when he's all like, "Okay, Dad, here we go," and he's like, because Dad was all like, the second part of the formula, basically, of the equation to live a good life is live a day, with everything without noticing anything, just going day by day, and then relive the same day and notice everything that you could
Yeah.
possibly notice.
Yeah.
And one of those and when you remember when he was in the lawyer's office and they were discussing something and Rory was there and they were like discussing like right before they went into the court, like it was basically their appeal and shit like that or whatever. And he like flipped the notebook and then like it had an arrow pointing to like the lawyer and it was like dickhead or like or loser or some stupid shit. And I was
It
just
was like a childish joke. Yeah.
it was childish, but like it made sense with the movie because like that's
Yeah.
what the dad would like. You just have fun, you know, and like don't take life too seriously, regardless of what you're doing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
notice everything, you know. So
And so like yeah, I feel like that cheapened it a little bit, but like I understand why it was there.
exactly, yeah,
It appeals to the masses, right? It doesn't appeal to like what we usually watch, but like I still think that everything else, like it didn't ruin the movie for me to the point where like this is unwatched, you know. And so like to me, the message behind the movie and like the way that the characters played off of each other, the main characters, you know, Like I thought it was like okay.
To me, it had that feeling of. Do you remember? So when I was thinking about this, it has that feeling of the show I watched called This Is Us. Yeah, This Is Us, and like I remember when it started, I really liked it, and it became really like romantic comedy kind of thing, and I kind of stopped liking it, but like I watched it all through the end, and then I remember you told me to watch a movie called like. What was the name of that movie you told me to watch with Antonio Banderas that it had like 3 stories?
Life itself.
Life Itself. Thank you. And yeah, and that's kind of what that feeling. It has that same because it was the same writer. That's what the show had that feeling. And this, huh?
Oh,
No, for This Is Us.
This is us.
For This Is
and
Us,
Life
yeah.
Itself.
And this
Got it.
movie has that same feeling as Life Itself. Like that kind of. There's just something, you know what I mean? And like you could just tell it's romantic or romantic comedy kind of. Like you said, kind of like big lights Hollywood kind of.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. Like it was made to appeal for. It was
For that
made to be
specific-
general so
yeah.
that everybody could like it.
Yeah.
And so like I feel like the people that would have liked it even more if it didn't have those elements are now just like even out with everybody else that watched the movie. They were like, okay, yeah, that was a good movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
And
understand.
so, yeah, like I feel like it could have been a little bit better, but overall, I still fucking love the movie. I love
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I won't say it's not a good movie.
Thank you.
Okay. You want to move on to categories or ratings?
Yeah, let's go to categories.
Story.
Story. This is a tough one for me because the story's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, it's not. It's like, again, like it reminds me kind of like Life Itself in a way, like where
Yeah.
it's like moments in his life. It's not like a beginning and an end. It's
Yeah.
just like how he's trying to fix his life too. And this is what it's a mess.
And like his life.
I think they say it in the movie. It's like sometimes life is a mess. Like it's a fucking mess, and it is what it is.
Yeah. And to me, like it kind of like he had a life before that and he had a life after the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And so like the movie could have been 6 hours long and continued on with the rest of his life, and like more shit would have come up. You know what I mean? But like there was no like problem or resolution or anything. There was no like I mean, there was climaxes and stuff,
Yeah.
right?
But there's
like,
also not like that sense of like I think you could relate to him, like you as a person, but
me
can't-
specifically.
yeah, you. Like I didn't really relate to him,
Okay.
but I think I could see how people can relate to him or her, right? But I don't like I don't think anybody could really relate to the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like in Call Me by Your Name is kind of that way. Like I can't really relate to Elio or like Oliver, but I can relate to their story, to like their relationship, to that summer thing that they had that you just feel like you're so in love with somebody. So I think this is the opposite. Like I think you can relate to certain characters, but it's harder to relate to the story because the story it's just too big. It's just
Time travel.
It's time. I mean, yes, it's time travel, but there's too many places. You know what I mean? You don't have enough time with a specific scene or a specific time period where you're like, oh, I've experienced
I've
something
been
like
there.
that before.
Yeah.
You know?
I've been Kate Moss before. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. So to me, the story wasn't like super strong.
Yeah, for me, it wasn't really strong either.
I would give it a 3 because it wasn't bad either.
That's the thing. It's weird. Like I want to give it a 3. Like I want to give it a 2, but I think 2's too low. And then I want to give it a 3, but then I was like, oh, 3's kind of high. So I don't know.
Go 2.5.
But I would agree with a 3 if you want.
Okay, we'll do 3.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
Beauty.
beautifulness,
The beauty.
fullness.
Beauty.
I think it's a normal looking movie.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's another thing about like it being like very Hollywood is that it has this formula.
Like the perfect
right?
exposure.
Uh-huh.
Like the red dress really popped.
Yes.
You know, but it wasn't like where everything was desaturated. It's just like they put everything perfectly.
Uh-huh.
So the red dress
And
could
the-
really like.
yeah.
'Cause everybody was wearing blues and like pastel
exactly.
colors, and so she was
the
like,
highlight,
"Oh my
yeah.
god."
The wardrobe was spent. They spent money on it to make it look perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
A
again,
two, I guess.
I would say another 3 for me is just
Three?
a 3
Three.
average. Like, cause it wasn't bad looking either.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah, it
And,
wasn't
like-
bad looking.
I'm trying to think if there was like any moments that like I really enjoy. Like there were some moments that I took note of. Like whenever like they realized that the sister had been in an accident, and like he was just focusing, like it's just like a super close up of the guy's mouth, and like nothing
You can see the
sounded.
crust on that bitch.
What?
You can see the crust on that
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
Goddamn.
And so like things like that, but I mean that was.
You know what's one thing I did not like, and like I get why. Remember I told you I was like, there's something in the last
yes,
podcast.
yes.
Okay, I remember. It makes sense because like, but I just think it was too on the nose. So when he has his first time travel and he comes down to the New Year's party, the camera's at an angle, so he's diagonal. And obviously that's like his world's turned upside down. Like it's like you're supposed to make you uneasy, but I just think it's too on the nose. It's not creatively done. It's just like this is the rule if you want to make somebody feel uncomfortable and uneasy, like you know. And I just felt like it was just like they read it off a book, you know, like they had no creativity towards it. Like just turn the camera just like they went from obviously this to just doing that. So you just look
like, how about if we just,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
so
like,
that was on a storyboard somewhere, and like
yeah,
like,
exactly.
and they explained that like this, well, his whole world is upside down, so we have to turn into a Dutch angle. Yeah,
that's what I mean. So and I remember that so clearly because I highly disliked it because I'm just like it just threw me off because like I know what the rule is and I know what it's supposed to make you feel, but no input was there to make it. And it could have been a slight diagonal kind of shot or put him up against the wall, like, you know, something, I don't know, where it could have been yours, but like it definitely, like, when you think of this movie and you watch this movie, you don't even think about like how did the director shoot this, how did the director have this idea or this vision. It was just I think anybody could have picked the script up and made the same movie. You know what I mean?
I did like some of the risks that it took.
Like what?
As well. Like that very first time that they meet, and it's completely dark. It's just dark. Like there's nothing on screen.
But again, I think that's cool. But I don't know if that's like a director decision. I think that's like you said, like it's scripted. Like they storyboarded it. Like let's see if it works.
Yeah, but like you could have like have it be like candlelit and like you can still see their mouths moving.
Yeah, I
or
see what
something
you're saying.
like that. You know.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But like
it was cool. I liked it.
It was interesting.
I actually really liked that part. And I think that's okay. I think that's why sometimes I not hated the movie, but disliked in certain parts because like time travel like undoes certain things. And like for me, like she never experienced that. Like even though he remembers her from that moment, makes her fall in love with him. Like she didn't experience that. She doesn't remember. Like that did not happen in her life because he went back and rewrote it. And I'm just like, to me, it's just like you lost such a beautiful moment because like you're not living life the way you're supposed to live life. You're going back in time traveling to fix your mistakes. But what gives you the right to do that? You know what I mean? Because like maybe she had a great time with the mistakes. That's what she wanted, but you completely decided just because you thought you looked
pissed off right now.
No,
you're so mad.
I know. It bothers me so much.
No, but I understand
you know
what
I mean?
you're saying because like now her first time meeting him was at that party.
At the party, yeah.
And that was it. It was just like that's how Kim and I met. I loved it.
Yeah.
But like
I thought that was cool though in the movie when she was like, where did you park? He's like, well, I took a ride to, and then
I thought that was so fun.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was
like,
cool.
here's my car, here's my apartment.
You're welcome in if you
walked
like.
me to my car. Thank you.
Shop is open.
Yeah, and so like I thought that was kind of cool.
I thought that was cool.
I liked their banter too.
Yeah.
Like whenever they were talking about like, what do you do? Oh, like I'm a reader for a publishing company. Like, okay, well, when you read for fun, like, is it like
it's like
you
breathing
just like
air.
read and be like, I'm not reading this until I get paid for it.
Yeah.
Like I thought like that kind of banter was like
no, it was
kinda,
cool, but I think
fun.
that's like I like the way they ended up meeting, right? Like the last time they ended up meeting. But I just I preferred the first time we met.
Yeah.
Like that was my favorite one, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It happened to us as the audience member, and it happened to him because he saw it. But it didn't happen because like he, you know, and I just think it just stressed me out that he kept undoing things.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like you have it right now, like finally, and you just keep messing it up. And like, how do you not feel bad for like experiencing something without the other person?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. But anyways, for me, it's a 2. Back to the beautifulness.
I could see it. I could see that too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Soundtrack.
Il mondo. that's a fucking banger.
It's a banger
and
song,
whenever I first started, I was like already trying to like rate it because I've seen it so many times that I was like, man, this soundtrack is not really too. But then like as soon as that piano hit, I remember it. Like I remember that piano like of the very first song that played on the thing.
Yeah.
Which is "The Luckiest" by. I forgot who sings it, but I remember it because during this time, do you remember Kid Craddock?
I know his name, but I don't remember. I never watched
Okay.
him or heard him.
So I used to listen to Kid Craddock in the morning religiously, and he had a tattoo that said "The Luckiest" because that was his favorite song. His favorite song was "The Luckiest" by I forgot who it is.
How does it go?
It goes like, "I don't get many things right the first time. In fact, I am told
Can't
that
remember
a
the song.
lot." And then it goes like whatever. And then it goes like, "But I am the luckiest."
It was in the movie?
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was at the
remember
very
it.
beginning. It was it was the first and last song that they played. At the beginning, it was just the piano, and then at the end, it was like
I hate
the
when I can't
piano
remember
with the lyrics.
soundtracks. But
What's up?
I hate when I can't remember soundtracks. That happens to me so
Yeah.
much. But that's why when like a soundtrack I remember it, like Call Me by Your Name, it's just like it's a vibe because like God,
Yeah.
like it's just so connected to
Yeah.
the movie. Like that movie would not be what it is without the soundtrack.
And this movie, like, to me, like, that soundtrack was, like, if it was just in any other movie and had, like, whatever, it would just be whatever. But
Yeah.
to me, because of, like, I remember Kid Craddock every time I listened to that song because they played it at his funeral. Like, his memorial, they played it. This guy that he had, like, he was, like, really cool friends with him, like, covered it. And, like, he played it live in his funeral and shit. So I remember that song very vividly. And, like, I remember him talking about why he liked that song. About how he was like the luckiest person on earth, according to himself. He was like, I love my life or whatever. And so like I think that it fit really well with the message of the movie, right? And so to me, I really love that song. And I also like there was like songs just like randomly in the movie that just take you back to a time. Like whenever there's a New Year's party and you know it's in the past and they're playing the Killers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're playing Mr. Brightside and you're like,
what an iconic voice.
yeah,
Like,
and you're like, okay, now this is really a time travel movie. It took
Yeah,
me
yeah,
back
yeah.
on time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there's like that, and then plus like Il Mondo, that shit's on my phone. Like that shit, I love that shit. Like sometimes I play it, and I don't even know the fucking words. But I've just been like,
I have it there, Dis, Il Volo. That's the name of the band that I used to sing that song. And I think they have some English versions of that song.
I don't care for it.
But-
I like the
Yeah, no,
Italian
it's
version.
iconic. The Italian
Yeah.
version, it's iconic, bro. It's good.
And so, like, to me, the soundtrack's gonna be higher than you because maybe this is just the one song that you like.
But again, it's just like it makes sense why you like this movie so much, cause like, and Kim could attest to this. You walk in your fucking car, bro, and it's like a fucking time travel of fucking songs. Like you know what I mean? Like all those
Yeah.
songs you probably heard because like you still listen to them. Like you're the type of person that you add a new album to your fucking your music or your playlist, but you don't take out shit. It's just like whatever lived in
Oh, yeah, I don't
2014,
take
it's
out
in the
anything.
same playlist
Yeah.
as the new shit.
Uh-huh.
So you could be listening to B.I., and then the next song is like I'm Mr. Right, and it's just like it makes
Yeah.
sense because
Fly me to the
fly,
moon.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just fucking crazy, but that's how you know. And then you
Do
get.
people not do that? Do people take song out?
I don't necessarily take them out, but I just never added it to the playlist. You know what I mean? Because like it's
Well, I
like
don't add them to I usually just let it shuffle.
yeah, you shuffle your whole. I don't shuffle my whole playlist. That's the thing. Que no te no tribal o qué?
Shuffling.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. I thought we were doing tribal.
No. Remember tribal, bro? What the fuck was that?
Did you ever experience tribal, Kim?
I don't think so.
Oh my God, bro.
Goodness gracious, good thing.
We'll play it for you. It's
We were
the
out there fucking doing some crazy
It's the worst
shit.
thing our culture has ever put out. So soundtrack, to me, it's a 4. It's not a 5, but it's a 4.
I could understand. I just don't remember it, to be honest. It was a good song. It was good, but I don't remember it. You're really trying to convince me with the fucking. And then I love the dad.
I know. And then the
like
mom is
that.
like, stop it.
Yeah. He's like, but those are my moves.
And I like the dad like looked at him and like, did you pick the song? And then like, she was like, no, I didn't have nothing to do with it. And then, like the
You know what
Rachel
I-
McAdams is like, that's for you.
You know what I did think they missed out on?
What?
When the dad was dying, or when he was doing the speech for. No, when he was dying, at some moment they missed out on playing BB King.
Why?
Because in the wedding speech, he said, "I've only left 3 things in this world."
Oh,
And he said, "My
yes.
son, Uncle Desmond, and BB King."
Yeah, I've only loved 3
and
men
I
in
said,
this
"You
world.
motherfuckers missed out on that shit." So for no
Yeah.
other reason, I gotta give it a 2.
I ain't
bro.
afraid of you, motherfucker.
I know. Who says that?
Bernie Mac,
Bernie-
R.I.P.
I love Bernie Mac. Hit it. I ain't scared of you, motherfucker. Okay, I'm gonna stop. But God, wouldn't I love Bernie Mac, by the way. I discovered him like a few years ago.
Yeah,
Like I knew who he was, but I never watched his like skit.
yeah,
I die, bro.
yeah. It's fucking funny.
He was
He's a
so
funny guy.
good.
Funny boy.
Anyways, I'm gonna give it a 2. I'm gonna give it 2.
2. So 3.
3.
Okay.
Balance.
I think I had good balance.
It had a good balance. It had a good balance. But I mean, remember what we said? You know, Bones and I had good balance. And me, I mean, it was a 5.
What did we do for Bones and All?
I
What was
think,
the rule that we
I think
come
we
up
gave it like a 2. I don't remember.
For balance?
Yeah. I mean, it was well balanced. Like, you know, acting was pretty good. And I'll give it a 3. I can't really go higher than it. I can't go lower, but I can't really go higher either. I thought it had pretty good balance. I don't know. I just thought
It's a tough thing. It
balance
is too balanced to me.
this movie.
It's like too perfect.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like I don't want to give it a 2 because it was a good movie. It wasn't bad. But I just
I
can't
don't
go
know what
high.
we said about Bones and All and balance.
I don't remember, but I think it must have been a 2. It could have been a 3.
Because I remember us going like, just because it's balanced doesn't make it a good
Well, that's why I
movie.
said that, because I'm just
Yeah.
like, I thought you were gonna get a 5. but no, yeah. I mean, this movie was good. It was a good movie. Like I can't rate it as high as you rate it, but I also part of me thinks that. I mean, also,
To me, most of the rating is it just sound bad. So right now I'm trying to find out the balance.
yeah.
Like
but
the
I mean,
balance.
what did we do that with? What was our second? No, Cha-Cha Real Smooth, and it was a many. What was the third movie?
I
was
don't
the
remember
third-
what the third movie was.
The Well was 4, right? Kim, do you remember what the third movie was that we?
Well, if you had one.
Oh, it was Bones and All. Well, we're dumbasses. It was Bones and All.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, but I now don't.
What number is this? What number are we
I
on?
can't remember what I
Are
was
we on
gonna say about that.
7?
What number are we on right now?
Uh-huh.
Since we started, or like just
This.
I think it's a 9. Oh no, that's a lie.
8.
8. Okay. Oh, I was close. Okay.
She's fucking on it today.
Look at that. Yeah,
Okay.
That's crazy. Is this a better time for you?
So, a balance, I'm gonna give it a 3. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, no, I
badly-
agree.
Like it was just a well balanced movie, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like. It was just too perfect for me.
So was it Cha-Cha Real Smooth that we started giving it like really low ratings? Remember there was a movie that we did that were like, we really liked this movie, but we kept rating it like low because we were just like, it was nothing special about in certain things. It's just the way it was. I think it was Cha-Cha Real Smooth then, because I don't think we gave Cha-Cha Real Smooth 5s. Maybe we gave 1 5 for the story. And then
I
the
think
rest
maybe we give it too high ratings.
for Cha-Cha
Like
Real
for
Smooth.
some of the good movies, like the really like some of the good movies that aren't like perfect, we still give like 5s all around.
No, we didn't.
We did with I remember this when we did it with the killing of a sacred deer, where everything, the story, the
No,
soundtrack,
but
and then there's just something about it where like, but there's nothing about it.
Exactly, but it was.
Yeah.
I think we did justice to it because in Cha Cha Real Smooth we gave it lower ratings.
Yeah. And this isn't like fucking official. Like this is
No, this is
nobody's
what-
taking this seriously,
Exactly,
right?
but this is what we feel about it, and
Yeah.
like, what was a better made movie, or what was more artistically made and like
Yeah.
thought about? Obviously, it was the killing of the sacred deer over Cha Cha Real Smooth.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't think there's any disagreement in that. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's better than Cha Cha Real Smooth, like as a movie as a whole.
yeah.
And that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I think it was Cha Cha Real Smooth because this is that kind of the same movie for you, where like we were giving it all kind of mid, low ratings, and I just know you're gonna give it a 10 or the something about it, or close to a 10.
Not 10.
Close to a 10.
7.5.
I don't,
I
know.
guess I'm 7.5.
I don't know yet. But look, balance. Okay, we finished balance 3.
Balance, I would give it a 3.
3.
You said 2, right?
No, I give it a 3. I don't think
3?
it's as low as a 2. So that's okay.
Okay,
I'll give it
so
a
let's
3.
do 3.
What's next? Is that it? Is that it?
Rewatchability.
Oh, rewatchability.
Oh, fuck. Oh, 5 out of 5 for me. I love this shit. I love
Yeah.
if Kim goes like at any point goes like, oh, you know what I want to watch? I want to watch About Time. I'll be like, maybe say less.
Say less, girl.
About Time. Actually, I did that. I played About Time on my. I have an Apple remote, the Siri remote. Is I put About Time and just fucking some random ass song started playing. I'm like, what the fuck? I had to go look it up manually like a fucking
damn.
peasant.
You should say play movie about time.
I guess. Too many words.
So you rather just be clicking that shit.
But play a movie about time. It was like, okay, I don't know. Back to the Future.
Yo, I was on Amazon looking for About Time, and I typed in About Time, and 3 fucking things came up. The first one was unavailable, the third one was unavailable, and the one in the middle was available. I'm like, why is there 3 versions of this movie on here, and what are the differences?
Oh, really?
And you know what the difference was,
What?
and how I knew they were different? Every time it progressed, like the first one was the full poster, the second one was zoomed in a little bit, and the third one was zoomed in even more.
The fuck? Where did you look this up?
Amazon Prime. It was on Prime.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
It was fucking weird, but anyways, rewatchability for me, I think it's a 2, man. Like I think I'd watch
I understand.
I watch
it
it
hurts,
again.
but I understand.
I know. I'd watch it again. It's not completely a movie that's unrewatchable, but
Yeah.
like I just
Is this
I
a
don't
movie
know.
that Vanessa would like?
Yeah, I think it is a movie that Vanessa would like more, to be honest.
You watch it with her.
Yeah. Jesus.
Make it a
And that's
3.
what I was thinking earlier, because like this one definitely geared towards more like what Vanessa likes,
Yeah.
a little sappiness in here and there, and it's cool, like like.
I
not
think
that
she'd be crying at the end.
You think so?
I think so.
Kim, did you cry at the end?
I think the first time I watched it, I don't remember. I'm sure I did.
That's one thing that usually like, especially now, like I feel like the older I've gotten, like the more emotional I've gotten, and like anything that like remotely happens, sometimes I just get a knot in my fucking throat, and I didn't feel this at all. Like this
At this movie?
At this movie, it was weird. Even during the dad scene, like I just didn't feel sad.
No, I got sad whenever they said we just moved on. Because that's such a real life thing that you have to do.
I get that.
That's when I got like teary eyed. Because it was like,
Yeah.
we got used to life after death. And it's not like something that you know that you're going to have to do, but it's also something that you know people are going to have to do with you. Somebody's going to have to be used to you.
But
being
also, like,
dead.
I see what you mean by it's sad, but also, like, there's no other way of living. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
absolutely. But I'm saying that like it's very and so like that's what I meant by that. Like it's just I don't know. It's just like such a true thing
Yeah.
that is just like that dude that was in the movie the entire time that told me that I can time travel. He's dead. And guess what I did? I fucking moved on.
Yeah.
Like we have to move on and like all this other. It's just like dude, that's just so fucking sad. And you just see like
Yeah,
the
it is
mom
sad.
alone with Desmond, and like it's just like that somebody's gonna be that.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna die. One day like my parents are gonna die, and like one day like all these people are gonna be fucking dead. And so like and we can't time travel, right? We can't go back and enjoy those moments. And like so like it's such a like a it's such a raw feeling that you have towards that.
Yeah.
That to me, it's like it's not something that I've experienced before. Like I've only had pretty much like one death that has like impacted me.
I'm the same way, by the way. Like, I feel like that's the thing we talked about earlier. Like, I think we've lived pretty good lives.
Yeah.
And it's like, at
Yeah.
some point it's going to be shit.
We're so fucking fortunate that
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
been good so far. But eventually, we're going to have to deal with death. And we're going to have to deal with people getting older and like us getting older. And the same thing's going to happen to like our children and the people that care about us. You know, they're gonna have to deal with us being dead, and like that's fucking weird. And so like
Yeah.
just moving on and just living your life and not being able to go back, and then just like you'll get used to it. You know, it's never gonna be okay, but you'll get used to it. You know, and so like that
You
to
learn
me
to
was
live
such
with
a
it. You don't get
beautiful
over it, but
message.
you learn to live with it. Yeah.
What?
You don't get over it, but you learn to live with it. Kind of.
Exactly.
A thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of like what I really liked about it, and then just like him just saying that, and then just
Yeah.
seeing the whole family like growing up, and like the dad not being there, and all that kind of shit. That's the only moment where I was like, okay,
No,
okay,
I wish I did. I didn't feel any of that stuff. I'm sorry. I wish
it's
I
okay.
did.
I forgive you.
Thanks.
So watchability, you give it a 2.
I give it a 2. I think it's
I give it a-
rewatchable, definitely, and it's again, it's like this one's more of like a kind of it's biased in a way, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's rewatchable. Well, okay, I'll give it a 3 because even though it's not very rewatchable for me, I can see why it would be rewatchable because
Okay.
like I think some people like really like watching rom-coms and like so, like it's
Yeah.
not completely it's not an like a
Yeah.
not
And like,
rewatchable.
okay, let's say it is a rom-com. For a rom-com, it's a fucking good rom-com.
No, but that's the thing. Like, I think like that's why I'm just like I keep telling you, I'm like I think like because I'm calling it a rom com, like you want to like put this movie away from that
No,
because it
because-
has such a bad rap to be a rom com. But this is a good movie, and that's
Maybe,
you know.
maybe, but like I really don't think so, because I'm not ashamed of liking rom-coms, and like I think
No,
there's
but
some
like I'm not
rom-coms that
saying you're
like are done
ashamed, but
really
it just
well.
it's just sometimes like they just have
Like
a bad
Her,
rap.
that's a great rom-com.
Like what?
Her.
Oh, I guess it is a rom com, yeah. But it's kind of hard for me to call it a rom com. Just saying.
But because it doesn't fit into that, like it doesn't have that recipe.
What is it? Is it rom com or is it romance?
I'm sure it on the thing it doesn't say rom-com. It's probably like a sci-fi.
No, because like I don't remember a lot. I mean, I know there's funny moments in there, but not as much as the comedy's not very like it's like normal funny like any movie could have, not like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I think the funniest moment like I think it's the Olivia Wilde thing, but even that's kind of more awkward than it is
Yeah.
funny.
Well, there's also
I don't think it's a rom
the
com.
little character. Oh, why? Is it because of negative connotation that goes with rom-coms? Huh? Is
It
it
is
that?
a negative connotation, but no, but that's what I'm saying. But
Or like Joker, that's a great rom-com. Star Wars, you know.
Star Wars, yeah.
I said Star Wars.
You remember Star Wars?
But yeah, so rewatchability. So I guess it's a 4 then. If you
Yeah.
give it a 3.
Yeah, I'll give it a
okay.
3.
Cool. What's next, Kimberly?
Just something about it.
It's just something about it. I'll give it 9.5.
Well, how about a 7? How about a 7.5?
No, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I was just
Okay.
kidding. I'll give it 7.5. There's just something about this movie that I love.
I
I think
know.
like you said, like I watched it in a time period in my life where it like made more of an impact, but also to this day that impact holds true.
No, but that's the thing. Like when you watch something that aligns with your life at a certain point, like no matter how much you live life and how much your life has changed,
Yeah.
you'll always remember that.
Yeah.
It's like when like people that grow up in like fucking rancho,
Uh-huh.
and then they all of a sudden become millionaires. But there's something about going back to that one house you spent. Like there's nothing more special about like remembering the time that you spent a cold winter with like your family in one room because you guys couldn't. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about right now.
A cold winter. What the fuck?
No, but like that type of moment where like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I mean,
The
my,
warm embrace from your neighbor.
like my parents.
What? As your skin touches his.
Like my parents
And you
always
fall
talk
into
about.
his ever-longing embrace.
Like my parents have everything right now. But they always talk about is like there's nothing. They've never been more happier than when the time that they were like out there on the field, like sembrando. You know what I mean? And just like all they had to eat was just.
Era muchacho de campo. That's
Yeah.
what. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
I get you. I
That's kind of
definitely
like
get
that.
you.
Even though you go and have a better life or a more experienced life and a funner.
Better enjoy your life soon, because
I know. I see. She go about to come at me, but it doesn't matter. Like you remember those moments that made you who you are, and I feel like especially in high school, man.
yeah.
I could definitely imagine you watching this movie. I'm just like, yep, that's very
Yeah.
much Ricardo.
No, you know what
movie.
it is for me? Like, it's also like one of those things, like, I don't know if whenever you were little, I would have a dream of like
I know I was little. Were you ever little?
I was little one time.
Nothing to do with your weight, by the way. I didn't want.
No.
I'm
No,
sorry.
that too, shit. But so, so
I just meant like you've always been an adult.
no. But okay, when I was younger, I I had like a dream of like my mom dying, right? And I was like very young, and like I would just see like her tombstone, right? And that shit, whenever I would wake up, I'd be like, I'm gonna go hug my mom right now, and I'm gonna be the best fucking kid ever,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna, I'm gonna like love her forever and all that kind of shit. And it's like one of those things that like it serves almost like as a reminder, or like a little, wake up, you know what I'm
Slap
saying?
on the
Like-
ass or what?
like, yeah. Is that what your ass sound like? And so it just serves as one of those things
Yeah.
where it's just like almost as just a reminder to like just be a good person and just enjoy the people that you have. And
When you mentioned your mom, I remembered the moment that I had with your mom that I wish I could forget.
which one?
This was like
Uh-oh.
I don't know if it
Over
was last year or the year before. The last time I saw your mom, it must have been like 2 years ago
Uh-huh.
at your house.
Damn.
And I said hi to her, and I went in to give her a kiss on the cheek, and she went in to give me a kiss on the cheek. So I completely missed her cheek and kissed her earlobe. I swear, I'm like, I've never kissed anything like this before. This gotta be her earlobe. And we just kept going about our day, and I remember I was like, when I went to I was in the car, I was like, what a weird moment. I think I ended up texting you or telling me like, bro, I kissed your mom's earlobe, and she like didn't even say nothing. She was like, we're just gonna let this happen and whatever. And I hope she doesn't remember, or hopefully it was never her earlobe and it was just something else that felt weird on your mom's face.
He's
But
been ignoring you ever since, bro.
it was
No,
so weird. Anyways, back to the
just something about it.
Just something about it.
7.5 for me.
7.5. Bro, you're gonna be mad, but I think I'm just
You're not
gonna
gonna give it a 0,
I'm
right?
gonna give it a 1. Because I don't think there's anything that's really driving me back to this movie. Like, there's nothing that I'm just like, oh my god, this movie, this part of the movie.
McAdams.
You say what?
Rachel McAdams.
Just her alone would be a fucking 10, right?
The dad.
I think that's why I'm giving them a 1.
Dad? Together they each get half a point?
I think so, man.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Not even like a little 2?
It's just I don't think there was anything that really made me think like in a deeper for me, right? Like it didn't make me think any deeper. It made me I don't know why.
About life?
No, yeah, none of
It
that.
didn't make you think at all
No,
about
it
like,
didn't.
maybe I should just enjoy life.
No, it didn't.
Oh, we're just heartless like that, huh?
No, I think maybe because like I'm more of the one that makes life like I'm kind of like that. Like even Vanessa kind of gets annoyed by me because I just let life happen. She's a big planner.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, we have to do this and this and that. And like, if I go on a trip, I just want to experience whatever
Yeah.
whatever
But
that
that's
day.
the message that it gives you. Let life happen.
But that's exactly why it doesn't hit me.
Because you already, I know. That's why.
No, it's not that I know.
You
It's
walked
just
out of
that
the movie just going like, I know.
it's just that. Yeah, I mean, it's not that. It's not like that in the sense of like, oh, I know. Like I'm a wise person that way. No, but like that's just the way I live my life. Like I just kind of let like whatever's next in the day.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck about nothing.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. And it's just like somehow this is gonna work out. It's gonna like I don't really stress. And like that's one thing about Vanessa. Like Vanessa stresses all the time, and she's all like, "Oh my god, I have to do this or I have to do that." And like it stresses her. Like she gets stressed by me not being stressed sometimes, you know. And it's like I'm just gonna let this happen. And I do get stressed, obviously, like when I get my acting stuff or have to learn some lines and like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like even when I learn my lines at the end, like I'm just like, I know as much as I know, and
Yeah.
like that's it. Like I can't learn any more than.
But
what I
like
do
whenever
know.
you're on set, for example, you're like, damn, this is pretty fucking cool that I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
You do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool, but like, I'm not stressing about my lines or anything. Like,
Not
I'm running them in my
stressing.
head, but like, I'm not necessarily like, I'm living them because I'm like, there's nothing more I could do here. Like, this
No,
is the
but
day
like,
that
you
it's.
take it in. There's something that you can do. There's like more that you can do, and that's take it all in and just enjoy it.
Oh, I don't
right?
necessarily. Yeah, I don't really necessarily.
Like
take it
whenever
all in.
you're on set, you're like, yeah, that's pretty fucking cool. And that I got a whole a person doing my makeup and making sure all my pimples are hidden and all that kind of stuff. And then like I just go out there and like everybody's looking at me and like I get to do this for a living. This is fucking dope.
Oh, I never think.
You
about
never
that, no.
you never take it in.
No, not like that. No,
You
I'm
need
not
to
that type.
rewatch the movie. Cause you gotta take it in, man. Like sometimes like I just sit back and I'm like, dude, I got to fucking like play with cameras for a living.
Yeah.
Like I get to just like tell stories for a living. And it's a pretty good living too. You know, like
No,
it's not.
I think it's a
and
good
so
living.
like I'm like, this is like there's people out there, and like I don't like compare myself, but like there's people out there that like hate their fucking job and they have no.
Yeah.
I told this Kim and I talked about it yesterday. I'm like, we both love what we do. Like you love being with dogs, you love taking care of them, you love like all that kind of stuff, and I love telling stories.
Yeah.
And so like we're both really lucky to do what we're doing and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just like you gotta like just take a step back and like look at that and be like, pretty fucking cool. Pretty fucking cool that I'm not just on the hunched over just crunching numbers all day for somebody else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I get you, but I'm just not that. I mean, and that's one of my biggest like faults. Like, I never do that. Like, I never take life in because I just in that way. Like, I live life. I'm just like, this is just how my life has panned out, and this is what I do. But I'm never like, I'm so lucky I've done this or this and that. Because I'm always like life, like one day happens and the next day you're not that person anymore, or you don't do that thing anymore. So you just have to continue to live life. And so like for me, it's just like there's no point in like trying to like boost myself up or like recognize what I've done as an accomplishment.
Okay. If somebody's like a licensed therapist, like on, can you dissect that?
No, but that's how like I feel like I've always been, you know.
No, yeah.
And like, but that's what I mean. Like, it's really hard for me to just to like be like, yeah, like I did this, because it's just like it doesn't matter. Like to me, it doesn't matter. Like I talked about this with people all the time that are actors or whatever, and they're just like, it's like, yeah, but you got to, because like a lot of people have been acting for a very long time, like just like me, and they're like, I've never booked anything as big as you booked. And I got really lucky by booking that. Like, let's just be honest. It's like one show that they shoot in Dallas, like in I don't know, like fucking 10 years, and like I happen to be on it and a good role. And so people have done commercials or things here and there, you know, voiceovers, but they're just like, I've never gotten a recurring role or anything like that. And I'm just like, yeah. Or some people that have done anything, they're just like, I've been trying this for so long, I haven't even booked a job. And so they look at you like, oh my God, like you're so lucky that you did that, you know? Because I talked to like, there's this guy that I used to work with at Abercrombie. And I saw him like last year in Bath and Body Works or something like that.
Dude, there's the fly again.
Anyways, I saw this guy at Bath and Body Works, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. And he was telling me how lucky I was. Like, man, you're so lucky that you got to do that show and stuff like that. And some people really need that recognition, and like I don't, you know. And it's just like for me, it's just like it's not embarrassing to talk about because like I'm proud of what I did. But it's just hard to talk about it because I'm just like, in this business, you have to continue to work, you know? Like, that's what solidifies your legacy. Not that you did it once. In any other job, you know? It's just like videography, you know? It's just like, if you got the job at the university and they fired you in 3 months, you're not going to be like, at least I did it. I did it. I made a paycheck. But it's only for acting that they do that because it's so hard to do it. Yeah. And it's just like, that's not what it's about. Like, it's not hard to get a job as an actor. It's not hard to be on a show. It's not hard to film. And yes, those things are extremely hard to do. But the hardest thing is to continue to book. That's the hardest thing to do. And to stay relevant. Like, once you lose your momentum and like stuff like that, that's fucking hard. And like, that for me, that's what it's about. Like, once I did something, for me, it's over. Like, how can I put myself into the next thing?
That's just because that's with the way the business goes.
Yeah. So... what's the name of that guy? Did you watch Westworld?
Oh yeah, Pablo Francisco.
Yeah, Pablo Francisco. And no, really, did you watch Westworld?
No.
His last name is Harrison. He's a very popular, famous actor. Anyways, my agent.
What does he look like?
Old man, white. Can you look him up, Kim? From Westworld. His last name's Harrison, I think.
Oh, Kit Harington?
Yes. No, bro. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Amy Harrison.
Yes.
If you see Amy.
Harrison or Harris?
It's maybe Harris.
Ed Harris?
Ed Harris. There we go.
You like zoom in a little bit.
I know.
Oh, okay.
You've seen him before, right?
Yeah.
It's somewhere. Yeah.
Is he from the one movie with Jim Carrey?
Truman Show?
The Truman Show? Oh, I love
He
that
works
show.
all the time. He's he's continually working actor, continuously working actor. And my guy that shoots my tapes. I know there goes that fucking flag again. The guy that shoots my tapes was telling me that I think he knew his agent, or he knew somebody that worked. No, he knew somebody that worked on a film with him. That's what it was. And while they were like on the side, like basically waiting to be shot, he was on the phone with his agent, giving him shit. He's like, "You got to give me the next job." On set, he's like, "Well, I got to book that job because I don't have anything else for the next 3 months. So you got to give me that job." And he was fucking on his agent's ass. And that guy that's...
Why are you like that? What are you going to do like that?
I know, bro. It's crazy, though. But, like, it's scary because, like, you just think your agent's going to drop you. And it should be like that because they work for you. But, I mean, it's a hard thing to do. And also, there's not a lot of
Why
things
do
to
you
do
need
here.
an agent? Why don't you just do it yourself?
You can, but an agent gives you... an agent sometimes has connections. More
Yeah.
connections than you would have. And also, it's just a sense of, like... it's like a security blanket. You've already been vetted by somebody in the industry that they trust. You know what I mean? Because it's not about, sometimes you could do a role. Sometimes you can be the one in a role and be like, that's an amazing actor. But I don't know if he could learn 4 pages of lines within 2 days.
Yeah.
And, you know, like I'm lucky enough that I did the show and they're going to be like, oh, he could at least do a recurring role because he's done it before. So,
Yeah.
of course, he could do it. But it's hard just to sometimes make that leap because sometimes they just don't trust you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And you could be the best actor, but if they don't trust you, like, it doesn't matter. So that's why your agent sometimes is there, because they just give you recognition that somebody's already vetted you.
Gustavo's agent, get him jobs.
He was working on it. I don't think I
Get 'em
booked that thing
jobs.
that I thought I was going to book.
Wait, what?
I don't think I'm going to book that thing I thought I was going to book. They put me
On
on
the
right
9th
after.
and the 10th?
Huh?
The 9th
No,
and the 10th?
no. This was the thing I told you I was going to shoot maybe tomorrow or Friday. Oh, did I not tell you that?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Um,
Get him more jobs.
yeah. No, I mean, it's going pretty good now. No, not pretty good, but like, obviously I'm still not getting jobs. But I think it's also a me thing. Like, it's more of a positive mindset. And like, you just have to be doing things and like, you know, things
Absolutely.
work out. And I did a 1+ small like thing for this production company called 3-Headed Monster.
Mm-hmm.
That's like in downtown. I had no idea. And then they called me back for this other thing called Tropical Smoothie, and we did a couple of shits. So,
Good shit.
and then
There was a podcast that I was listening to about this one lady,
Mhm.
and then she was like, every time she got a no, she was like, yes. I was like, why? Like, why did you celebrate? And it was like, because like it every no gets you closer to that yes,
yeah,
and that like is just another one down. Like
Oh,
like she
no.
was saying, like,
Yeah.
whenever she got into Hollywood, she was like, you know, for every yes, there's like 50 no's. And then she just kept counting them down. She was like, 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's
you know?
crazy.
And
Yeah.
she was like, I'm so close to that yes. I'm so fucking close to that yes. And so like she kept doing it.
that's a good thing to have. I mean, no, it definitely does work that way, and it could really tear you down, and you don't notice it sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like living life, and you're just like, oh shit, I don't even know. But hey, no, it's definitely a positive mindset. Like if you're just
Ponte las pilas.
a las pilas, a las pilas.
Échale
But-
ganas. That's all you have to do.
I know, but
All right.
anyways.
Well, let's get to wrap this
Yeah,
shit
we're
up.
about to wrap up. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it a 1. I think I
Okay,
already said that.
so
Okay.
that's 7.5 plus 1, 8.5. I'm going to give it an 8 just to round it up. Okay.
Let me lick my
We
fucking
got
finger in this
9.
fake ass paper right
We got
here.
Divided by 2. Kim, what's the rewatchability on your end?
Maybe like a 6.5.
She being nice because she dating you.
No, because we didn't like the same movie. We didn't like Call Me by Your Name. Like I didn't like it. She liked it.
I know, but you really like that movie, so she's trying to be nice to you.
No, not necessarily.
I think it.
What? No, right, baby?
No, right? No, I'm
right?
kidding. I'm not trying to
No,
start any
baby.
problems. I'm not trying to start any problems. But me and Kim definitely related today with Call Me by Your Name. Call Me by Your Name. It's a different ball game right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
fine.
thanks for listening, guys.
All right.
And then what's
Oh,
the
wait.
next movie?
What's the next movie? It's yours.
Take This Waltz.
Take This Waltz. And my next one is...
Hold on, bro. It's just
Oh, that's true.
we're shooting
Okay.
them at the same time.
Take This
man.
Waltz, baby.
Take This Waltz.
Also,
I can't
the
wait.
fucking Chiefs won, not the Eagles.
The Chiefs won. No, I did say. Remember, I was like, we hope the Chiefs win. Yeah.
Boom.